Oh, Jesus.
Mhm.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. And yeah, Jasmine, right on time. Welcome to the watch party. We are watching Black Cat episodes 7 through 9. Luckily, I took a lot of medicine and everything, so I'm able to power through this. We're here to have fun and enjoy some more classic anime from a very wonderful anime. We ended on episode 6, which really kicked things into high gear. Um, so now we're gonna see what happens with episode 7. Like I stated before, the watch link is the pinned uh, comment, and if you want to come in on the discussion panel, just ask for the link, and we'll happily send it to you. Um, hey, Cyril, George, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
Uh,
Sam.
um, but yeah, let's begin. And I'm very excited to see what episode Sound's gonna bring to the table after that huge episode 6 conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wonder who we're gonna see in episode 7 this time. I'm hoping we do see more Train in them, and hopefully Kronos. Oh yes, oh yeah, Senator Mars's birthday's next week. That's really cool.
And seems she character that they just reduced.
What's up, Jasmine?
Oh, I just said okay. Hold on.
Don't worry. Yeah, that happened.
There it goes. Alrighty. I'm gonna throw up the banner momentarily. Alrighty. We'll see you all after episode 9. Uh-oh.
Even the your feel. Oh. Face.
Jeez.
It'll be a good episode. Be good. Ooh, yeah, everything's going down right now. Well, thank you for the like, California. Take care. Yeah, get a good night's rest. That's what you need right
Have a good one, Callie. Thank you for stopping by and everything.
now. Get a good rest.
Doug Dimmadome wants to know his location. So we have a gender bent poison ivy. I like it.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to actually um bow out today early.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
You have to go.
Yeah,
All right, we'll stop her. Wait, we're still going?
Your call. Do you want to watch the last episode, or do you want to save it for
I'll
another
probably
time?
wait for Jasmine. So it wouldn't feel right. Then I have to rewatch episode 9 again. So let's wait till
Oh,
she gets. I think that's fair.
actually, we could probably stop it at. We'll stop it at episode 8. So we'll save episode 9 through. We'll do episode 9 through 11 for the next one. So, well,
So,
guys. Well, guys.
but there's still enough for us to talk about.
Oh yeah, we have plenty to talk about though. Um, I'm sad Jasmine had to go, but I understand though. I understand.
Completely do.
Episode 7 and 8 really kicked it into high gear.
Got to see because of the very first episode, we got to see Black Cat and the main antagonist fight for a little bit. So we had the setup for the immediate res. We got the flashbacks to what was leading to the events and seeing their little bit of that aftermath. I'm kind of glad they didn't redo the fight again, saves on time and animation. But also, it's like we got the context now, and to see what Seven and Eve are doing, I like the contrast. They're just enjoying the fireworks, and she's having fun. Get to be a kid, get to experience a lot of things until she says, "No, I smell blood." So it's like, oh, here we go again. So it's great to have that within there in that, so that it's you got the A plot, the B plot, finally meaning they are converging to one point, and now we have our main cast for episode 7. And I like with the fact that this fight does not end with one side winning, not with Creed or Black Cat. It's just a tie. It's a stalemate. But with that, you have the fallout of people wondering, oh, it was a stray bullet that caused the tank to explode. The children were unharmed thanks to Black Hat's Trace doing a great job of getting them to safety. But with the girl dying and everything, it's like, sorry, can't do anything. So I like that, and he's been out for a week. So a lot can happen within a week, and within episode even 8 or 9, no, even 8, they are still bringing up the fact that he somehow Creed got someone from a clan that's supposed to be dead 20 years ago, but like you're not gonna kill everybody. The cycle of revenge is still gonna be with them. So Creed, with his silver-tongued devil, somehow got someone and is using them. So I'm like, damn, that's clever. So I really like this is establishing stuff in episode 7. You see some plots advancing forward, but I'm liking the fact Trace and Eve, they're really on the wrong foot right now, which is great. We need this dynamic between these two because you're not going to quite get it with Trace and Sven because those feel like more your dynamic duo, the little buddy comedy, a little bit, the slightly mentor-ish figure and the younger guy kind of going at it again. So, but with Trace and Eve, I think that's a great dynamic. They're really going to play that off. If this anime plays its card right, how much they follow the manga, which again, to be fair, I've yet to read the manga, and I kind of want to now because of the anime, so I can see the differences in that dynamic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to see that dynamic. I'm glad they went that route of like starting off bickering and everything because it's a nice fresh dynamic. Then getting all buddy because it wouldn't feel natural if they were buddy off to like from the get go. Because you and I have seen so many animes, and the number of times because it would just come off forced and everything. So I like that they went with this approach like they're at odds with each other, but over time, throughout the 2 episodes, they're starting to work together, and it's happening organically, which is sorely missed in current anime right now. You're missing that dynamic. It's okay to start off as adversaries and then work your way towards being allies. It's okay to have the 2 characters start off like that because you're not really killing the character arcs or anything. It builds it. It gives it more flavor, makes it more fluid, and it gives it more. It makes it feel more real, and that's what I love about this. We know Eve is still trying to grasp the situations that she is in because we you could just look at her reaction. She hates being reminded that she's a weapon, but reacts very differently when she's being complimented, given nicknames and everything. And you cheer for the positive aspect of that, which she really needs. You could just tell. And I like how they didn't like reveal too much. Like they kept the towels people off on screen. They
That was important
they
because if
kept
they were like
well,
on screen for a while, I would have been like, "Oh God, I got
but
another."
I like the
But they're
breadcrumbs.
building mystery. They're building mystery. The towels are definitely against Chronos. Definitely going to be against our trio or quad or quad squad. But it builds another mystery. They could have easily gone to Igor. Like, look at that. You had 2 members with Igor, right then and there. They could have taken care of him. No one gets the bounty. But it's nice to build up that we're learning a bit about 2 members versus what we know with Kronos. No offense to Kronos, but that was also information overload with Kronos. To be fair, you're gonna need these types of the elderly are getting hasty by the minute. I'm like, yay, so original. But we also know why they're getting hasty. You know why. People are gonna say, but that works with everything. It does. It's a cliche. It's a trope. Even our good author friend Dave is like, we'll explain to you. There's a reason why a lot of these tropes are being used because fundamentally they've been used a lot and they're effective, but they're cheap, but they still work. If you implement them correctly, you can still make something that feels old. Just go by. Like, what's the extra step? What's the extra mile? Like, what a great thing example of people that they're getting anxious and hesitation, but they suck at it. Take a look at Darling the Franks. Do you know anything about Papa? Do you know anything about that guy?
Uh, a
The
little.
big council people that like you children are gonna like pilot the mechs and everything.
I heard bits of him, but go ahead.
I know nothing about this guy. Like, who
Yeah,
is this guy? He's on the hierarchy and everything. Okay, okay, okay. So he's a political figure or something, or like just overall in general, he's something. But as the series goes on, it's like, who are the adults? Who are any of them? I mean, the caretaker who's always with them half the time, but who are these guys? They're just sitting on the throne all the time. They're not moving around. They're just like, yes, you will do this. You will do that. Now go. And I keep going, I mean, I know more about Kronos elderly who are in just a few short episodes versus the entirely Darling and the Franks, where I'm like, yeah, who are these guys again? I know more about Shinji's asshole dad in Neon Genesis Evangelion with the different dubs out there. I mean, but I don't know Darling the Franks higher ups. I'm like, so they something and if you want to talk about teammates, we talked about this. Look how Darling the Franks they go from 15 good episodes to Now 02 is acting nice to everybody. That doesn't feel organic. Am I missing a couple episodes here and there where she suddenly becomes nice? Like you remember that like in the beginning she was kind of bratty, annoying. She made trouble for everyone, unless she were a hero. Until multiple episodes later, after 15, or even after 15, like 16, 17, she's really nice to a lot of people. I'm like, did I miss an episode or two? It feels like I'm supposed to get a big mission where everyone starts to like her. I'm like, you don't just do the tone shift right then and there. It didn't happen organically or naturally. It felt like, oh, I'm nice to everybody now. It would have been nice if maybe a couple of them started to warm up a little bit more, or if they helped her out more often. Let's say, for example, if Hero was out of commission and along with the two other people, then it's like, oh crap, we don't have enough people to pilot the Franks. Maybe someone else had to step up and be like, hey, I'm gonna be with you. You have to do this with me. And if she argues saying no, no one else is good as with Hero with me, or yada yada yada, at least with that set in mind, you're like, Hero's out of commission. Another set of squads are out of commission. We need these two people to work together. Then it would have showed you some chemistry. Even if she hates somebody or someone hates her, it would have been like, hey, you two could work together. Do a couple battles here and there. Maybe Hero is complimenting on the sideline, saying, thank you for saving or working with her when I was out of commission. Thank you. Maybe that happened again. Maybe he's still out of commission, and then there's more episodes with her bonding with other people, and those who are with her are starting to see her in a different light, and it's like, you know what? You're not so bad after all. Again, still cliche, but at least you had something organically happen. And at least it would have been like, now we know why she's nice to a few more people. A couple of them could still hate her, but it would have helped out Franks a little bit better, while also building up some red flags of going, now who's gonna die? It's still messy, but at least you had a few more things in between stuff before somebody dies. And the sad thing with Darling and the Franks also was they kill off the worst people to kill off, where you still say, so you kill off an entire squad for no reason. You killed off a giant snake for no reason. You killed off the guy who experimented on 02 for no reason. And I look at their entire squad, I'm like, so everybody gets a happy ending, unless you're reading the manga version, and then one guy doesn't get a happy ending because he gets betrayed by everybody. Really? Really? But then I look at Black Cat, I'm like, they're building stuff slowly but surely. It's cliche after cliche, but it's the good stuff, and they're doing it so well. For now, unless they mess up later, but it's good stuff. Hell, I like the fact that in episode 7, again, a great callback to episode 2, Trace calls out Eve saying that you're calling me bad? You're just as worse as me. You're still a killer. And that gets under her skin. You can see it in the animation, you can see it in the reactions, like, oh, that's so good.
It is.
So good. So good.
And because that line that they're like, oh, the 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 elders are getting antsy. They could that would have been a they it was I mean, you think about it, it's like, oh, well, that's a throwaway line, but I'm glad that was not they didn't use it as a throwaway line. They added more context to why they're getting antsy, because
Mm-hmm.
it proves that the Taoists are a major threat, and it's done better because it's like they're emphasizing the importance, like, of
Talos, the bioweapon, and Black Cat. There's the well, also even 4, the bioweapon, you got Trace and Creed and Talos. That's 4 things they're all upset about. It's like, we are too like the word we're looking for is spread too thin. And when your forces are spread too thin, you can't deal with everything. No wonder why it's like it's taking too long. Get this done or else.
And I like that the breadcrumbs are put there for the Taoists because we met two of them because we met that guy who is probably giving Doug Dimmadome a run for his money in the tall hat department, and then and the guy and then the other person with him, we don't know who they are. We still don't, but I like that mystery of them. I like it. I cannot wait to learn more about those two characters. And because we don't know if they're Taoists or they're with Kronos, because we really do not know. And it's great because it keeps the mystery alive and it keeps you guessing, which is great because I like that. It's character impact. I hate it when they kill the mystique on first impressions of the character. They did this right. They were like, "Oh, we know about you and everything. Just drink this." "Oh, we tried it." "Yeah, you're gonna have to keep drinking though." They didn't even state who their names or anything, that which makes them even scarier. And to me, that's important because you want to keep the characters going and keep the audience like you and me guessing.
Like if they just revealed what he drank right away, it would lose a lot of impact. Like, oh, he just gets strong, whatever. Cool. But then you see it again, it's like, oh, he gets strong, but he's a plant now. Okay. But they keep it hidden. Like in a lot of modern day writing, this is what I hate too as well. But you succumb to a lot of the streaming platform or where you're watching stuff in the movie theater, whether it's a solid B film or it's the quick, easy cash grab. They don't trust the audience. They think you're dumb and can't put it together. Now, it's not going to be all movies. No, no, no. Let's make that clear. When you have a bad writer or like some bad direction, even with some good writers, it's always going to be down to how do we get this information to the audience? Well, we could do the trust them, just reveal everything. But we could trust them, plant the seed, get the breadcrumbs. But every once in a while, you get a big, huge, like, hello, this is an obvious sign they're bad guys. But I like how they did it with the whole with Igor, like his philosophy, like I'm not a killer. I did a crime that I never committed. I'm like, are you sure? And I like the fact when they're fighting him, he's talking about flowers. I wish I knew which flowers he drew, or I wish he stated a couple of what he drew. But there is this thing called the language of flowers. So if someone knows more about that, look it up. But like every flower like has a meaning behind it. So I'm like, and even how he's talking to Eve about would you harm a flower? I'm like, would you harm a flower? I'm like, that's different. That
I,
is unique. It's not saying would you kill a person. He's asking would you harm an innocent flower. I'm like, hmm, hmm.
you can make the obvious comparisons. We have a gender bent poison ivy, but it's really not the case here because it's done masterfully and it's really thinking outside the box here because you and I are so used to hearing the question, would you kill a human or would you kill a fish or anything? The flower one really threw me off because I'm like, oh, I never thought about that, which is good because I like the dynamic of Igor. It's a great he's a great mini antagonist because he's an enemy that is thinking outside the box. And it really makes you wonder about him too.
Like how did he get the potion? who was this random girl. I know I'm gonna bring up this random girl. Like she's just here for a while and then just disappears. I'm like, no big deal, but at least there's some side of him that's still at least somewhat good until like again the new faction comes in place. They're questioning him about his stuff, but I also like how that one girl's like, "Oh wait, I know about this. He's lying." I'm like, is he lying or there's some partial truth in those lies? So, and again, I do like how even in his battle, how Black Cat is smart enough to be like, "All right, bullets aren't affecting, but what will?" It takes him a while to figure it out, and that's when he's like, "Don't shoot." He's like, he's thinking, he's thinking. The medallion was right then and there. I'm like, that was clever. It was hiding in plain sight. So, and I'm trying to rewatch the fight a little bit. I don't think he really ever protects the medallion because when you're big, people are gonna shoot anywhere. Think of the Punisher. Why does he have the skull? Because that's where the bulletproof vest is. That's why he wants people to shoot.
Exactly. And it's subtle, but it's there,
And as
which is
always with these
nice.
fun bounties, it's again, this is what Outlaw Star just needed just a little bit more. They can't get the full reward. He's like, this is hardly a meal. Well, I can't get the full reward of a guy who's
I know that was funny. I like that.
and Outlaw Star doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. They'll just shoot you, get the reward. Here, well, he's dead, but uh, half the reward. Original, but I like it. But I like it. I like it. But I also like the fact when Eve's going at Igor for the first time, it's they don't do a whole lot in that scene itself, but there's a lot of things are going back and forth, back and forth with their talking. This is like Eve becoming. She said she's a sweeper. Oh, a cute girl like you can't be a sweeper. But in that, it's like Eve. Now you have to make the hard choice. And when she gets questioned, she hesitates and slowly walks back. I like that when you do that with characters like this. They're young, naive, they think they can do it, but this is a different world you're living in. If you want this lifestyle, you have to make hard, difficult choices. Yes, it's about bringing people in or killing them, but when you're that young, you have to think fast. You could be manipulated very easily. I mean, look at Trace with her, keep calling her that you're the same as me. And remember, that line still echoes within episode 8, so she's really holding on to that. But what I like about Eva Locke, she takes away the gun. I'm like, that's brilliant. She takes away the gun in episode 7. Brilliant.
Exactly. It was brilliant. Um, I like the character development in this anime so far. I'm loving this because and it's being done right because we're seeing so much happening. Um, Train wearing the bell and everything,
Trace.
and
Train. Black Cat, whatever. So, Black Cat,
Black.
whatever. So,
Yeah, he's
and I
wearing
kind of
the.
like the fact she says that if you want a cat to behave, wear a, wear a bell. It's silly, it's stupid, but
We love it.
I
It
love it.
keeps the
It's coming from
innocence.
the Chopper's actor, and I like the fact it's so her voice is soft, but she says it so seriously. Here, wear it, and he refuses to wear it until he does. When she hears about it, she knows she's going to be safe. But I also like the fact with Kronos. I guess are some of the weapons made of orichalcum? Look at that. Sure, yes, he says like you can't break it. My wires are made of orichalcum. Tries to cut Black Cat's weapon. You should know my gun's made of orichalcum as well. I'm like, hmm. So did Creed not have his weapon in orichalcum? So I'm like, that's interesting to know. And no wonder why it broke so easily. So he can use his blood arts. I'm like, damn, that's that's got me thinking. That got me thinking a bit. So I'm like, that's pretty cool to know. We got a little more history of building weapons in this world, or even how Seven's like, yeah, I could use my eye and abilities, but look at this guy. He lost control. Well, why become the next setup? We're building setup for what may or may not happen. Are we gonna get a payoff? I hope I do. I
Yeah,
hope I do get a payoff.
I would love a payoff right here. Um, it's so much fun that we're getting more world building because we already know about Kronos and Creed and the others in the sweepers, but now we have the Taoists involved and everything. There's more world building, and we saw more numbers tonight. Like we saw more numbers come in, and now it's like, oh dear, what are we gonna do? Plus, I'm curious to know what Elaine found on that paper. I wonder what that passport with the numbers is, because that is a clue right there. And I
That's a
hope
clue. That is a clue. Even with my monitor or the video kind of starting for a bit, because I know we're getting back to that. A lot wonderful out of me going through like, oh my god, the video's stuttering. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
I
But
hate when that happens.
I know I do. But thankfully, with the audio, Kronos would not approach Rinslet that at
Boldly.
all. When you think about their scene, it's like, and how much casually he reveals he's a number. It's like, what are you planning? What are you up to? I mean, that does not happen by accident. And he's like, oh, I know you got to that safe very quickly. Here's a job for you. I'm like, hmm, hmm. She said, like, oh, I didn't accept it. Yeah, you didn't accept this job, but you never know. There could be setup or payoff for the future, or it could just be something that's throwaway that you truly didn't accept it. But you don't have a scene like that. Have them going back and forth for a bit. Granted, yeah, she said she's hunting Igor as well, but it's like, are you sure you're hunting Igor or not just keeping Train 7 and Eve in sight all the time? We'll find out in the future, but I think this is interesting that Kronos is trying to get a move on a bit. They're trying to speed things up for a bit. So this will be interesting of where things go.
Uh, I feel like episode 7 and 8 really delivered on what Yumi and Jasmine speculated on the last episode. It really delivered because it did tie everything from episode 1, why they were fighting in the beginning, and now it came full circle in that episode. And I like that. I like it when a loose end gets properly closed with so much info and everything, and now it makes the fight more impactful. And it's a good thing that it ended with a draw because, as you stated, neither side gained the advantage. It was a stalemate because of that tanker exploding. So I was completely fine with that stalemate because it protects both characters, and you could tell they're evenly matched. Like it emphasizes that they're evenly matched.
Because if someone did win, it would be like, okay, but then why is this character coming back at all? Or you would have to get the characters in a low state for a while until they were able to regain their courage again. But because these are the numbers we're talking about, even Creed's a former number, it does show you how powerful some members are or how weak a few of them will be. Creed is smart. He admires Train. So obviously going into his battle, he knew what was going to happen or not happen. And even with some of our new characters, the guy using the wires, I'm like, I like wire users. They're pretty cool and everything. So he can handle his own, but he's more of a strategist than a full blown fighter, unlike Eve, Train, or Seven. So this is pretty cool actually. So we'll definitely see some more numbers in the future, but we'll have to wait and see what they're doing, especially for the captain. Now even she's getting more hammered on. Like you need to solve this now before it gets worse. So it's like, so this will be cool. This will be interesting. So final thoughts on these episodes, or we'll quickly wrap it up.
Personally, I like how episodes 7 and 8 really we got what we wanted with both episodes because I'm a sucker for world building. I'm a sucker for that, and I'm glad that episode 7 and 8 like did a lot more with that, like more world building. They kept they kept the Taoist off screen, which is very smart. Which is very smart because it really keeps the mystique alive and it keeps their power threat alive. It's like because these people haven't been seen in over 20 years since the war, and their presence is there. It even has the Kronos leaders freaking out, and you know it's bad when they're freaking out like that. And I like how they're keeping it. They're laying the breadcrumbs and everything because we saw two new characters, but we don't know their names, which is good.
You
We
know,
got
one of them was with the insects. So I was like, ooh, so that guy can control insects. What can these two control? What can they be a menace to? So I'm like, builds mystery, and you're
but
gonna
you
be
could
excited
tell,
when we
like,
see them
looking
again
at the
later.
you could tell with how like, their mannerisms and everything, they do pose a threat, and I like that. I like that the threat is subtly there, but it's effective. Heck, they could tell you about a book and still sound intimidating, or how cool this vase looks and everything. They have that presence right there. "Oh, we drank this stuff before, but we gotta keep up with it, otherwise your body will explode." And how they say it so casually, that's what's terrifying. And it's seeing, and seeing that the other characters back and everything, that was pretty cool. I'm glad we got to see the
The
wait.
waitress lady again.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept her. I am so glad they kept her in. I am glad because I was starting to worry. I'm like, please don't be a one-off character because she's funny and I like her.
I like the
It,
fact she mentioned Seven walked. It's been 6 months, and he walked off the bar to his tab. I'm like, shouldn't they be hunting you down for walking off on the tab? And
if
now
it
he's got a new one. I'm like,
the invoice is not going to be pretty once he gets the money. The invoice is not going to be pretty.
it's probably just adding up every day that goes by that it's getting bigger and bigger.
Imagine if Gene Starwind and Naruto and Goku stifled their tabs and everything. Oh, that would be.
I think Naruto is paid off because Iruka Sensei paid it off along with. I think it was Iruka who paid it off, as because Naruto couldn't really eat. So his ramen, the owner who owned the ramen shop, he's like, "Oh, here, I'll put a tab on it until you can pay it off." But knowing Naruto, he did it a lot, and then when Iruka kind of was taking him out to eat and everything, it's like you got to pay it now. So it's like, but I think he did pay it off, unless the creator of the manga can come out and tell me saying that no, Naruto did pay it off in full later. So I'm like, it was nice, but I'm sure their tabs are just as big as whatever this guy ate. And I gotta wonder what the hell he's eating. Also, the fact at the same time, Train is ordering for more food, he just gets scraps. And she's like, "That's all we have." I'm like, "Oh, that's what happens when you order too much." So Dylan's
Yeah.
funny. He gets that relief in there. So, but I think my one of my concerns right now is hopefully they don't have too much more comedy. Like you got to always balance out the drama with the comedy, because having fun stuff in the restaurant or when they're by themselves is fine, but hopefully they can balance it out on like some of the more modern stuff where it's supposed to be serious, but then it's like, oh, someone made a funny joke. But I
Exactly.
did like these episodes. They moved the story forward. You get some nice introductions, a nice mini boss. You learn more about the threat that is possibly coming, along with whatever episode 9 through 11 are going to be. So I'm excited to see more and see where things go.
I also like that we're getting more wholesome, like chill moments with Eve and everything, like the fireworks and everything.
I
Because
like that moment a lot.
I
It
like
did remind me of, wait, what was that movie called? He was I can't remember the name of the book of the movie, but that I read in seventh grade. Was it seventh grade? Yeah, was it eighth grade? Seventh grade. That when these two characters watching fireworks, he just grabs the kid up, put him on his shoulder, and it's like, here, was it?
that was cute. That was adorable. And I'm like, I'm so glad we have moments like this in our anime because you do need like really chill scenes and everything, given the chaos going on and everything. And it's nice to take a breather in between and just appreciate the things in life. And I'm glad that Eve is slowly maturing along the way. Cause
I do like Train calls her a princess. I'm like, that's funny. She's like, princess? You think I'm a princess? I'm like,
I,
well, how
I
Seven treats her, then yes, princess. Yep.
I did like that drunken guy. He was if you saw my reaction, I was going crazy. Despite how sick I am, I was like, yeah, what the absurdity of that man who is chasing after Elaine, like Elaine, I may be tipsy, but you're still as elegant. What are you doing? What were you doing up there? It's just the absurdity of it is what
Also, the
really.
fact Eve is watching a mecha anime,
Oh, let's talk
I,
about that.
I was like, what? I was like, she's watching a mecha anime in this, but then people are going to say, but then they have I know all the experiments, the bioweapons. It's the mecha anime that makes you guilt. But how? I know it's the smallest things. People are gonna be like, "Are you really that?" Yes,
Yes.
because it
Yes.
takes you out when you contrast the world you're living in versus everything else. Just imagine watching hypothetical situation. You're watching Outlaw Star. You get a great scenes with great Western vibes, the political climate, all the action. It's great. And then you just go to Gene, and he's watching a harem anime. I'm like, what? I went from something so serious, so badass to Gene watching a harem anime. And I go, what?
You know what? You're not wrong. That would make that scene would fit
That
perfectly in that anime. That would
it
fit.
would, but also would take me out of it.
That's how absurd it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
That's
like,
how absurd it is. It works, and you can't even piece together how it
yeah,
works. It
I
just
was like, what's going
does.
on? I'm like, what's going
Also,
on?
I
Why
like
is he
the
watching a harem anime? Like, why is he watching a harem anime? But
or
people are
like
gonna
Spike
say, don't
Spiegel or like Spike Spiegel. Say like they're on
tripping
the
on shrooms. The
eh,
whole shroom episode's hilarious.
oh good god, that was funny.
From all
Like
the
Spike
action and everything, they're just tripping on shrooms.
And then all of a sudden, out comes Motoko Kusanagi in a bikini, and Spike's like, "Hello, pretty lady."
I would still be like, what the
That
hell
would be the greatest
am
mind
I?
fuck. That would be the greatest mind fuck right there. That would be the
But what doesn't
greatest.
mind f me is when I'm watching My Dress Up Darling because it is about cosplay, but every cosplay they do is a reference to something. So when you watch, again, good thing I got my plushie up here. When she's in the black Lala outfit, you can kind of already tell. Yes, it's supposed to be a Magic Girl, and it's like, okay, which one is this? It's not Sailor Moon, obviously, because I got the hat, I got different eyes, I got the
Oh,
wonderful
that's
dress she
that.
wears. But I'm also like, okay, I know this is from somewhere. I know this from somewhere because the amulet's kind of a dead giveaway of what it might possibly be. Because if she goes full blown, uh, like she starts to lose more stuff, she gets more like allowing her anxiety and jealousy take over. It goes from a blue gem to a black gem. So I'm like, okay, this is from somewhere. Like I know it is. Maybe the hat's a dead giveaway with the symbol, but I'm like, it's from somewhere. I know it is. And if I had, you know where the succubus one is from, right? Her succubus outfit. You know what that direct reference is, right?
Oh,
Do I get okay? Hold on, let me show you because I think you might get it right away. Where is it? Oh, there's one. Oh, that one gets you the. Oh, okay, there we go. Like her vampire, her succubus one. I put that in the private chat. So you kind of get the idea where these um, references are coming from. Like obviously her fighting game one, I think that's based around. I believe it's Tekken. Yeah, it's one of the characters from Tekken or Street Fighter. One of the two at least. So you kind of know the one that she dresses up, the one where she's like in that very loose outfit that Gojo didn't like to make, but she got
ooh.
herself to be tan. Like now, like you see, like the vampire succubus, you know the reference now, right? You kind of see like, oh, it's from that anime and manga. So now you get what I'm getting at, and you're like, wait, that's I think it is. I think it's that reference to the one that took the internet by storm that one year. I'm like, oh, I think I can now see it. I think we can now see it.
Yeah.
So you can obviously see where stuff is referenced. So, and I'm like, she's watching a mecha anime. I'm like,
I love
I
the
know
dialogue.
it.
I I love the dialogue in that too.
I
It
know
was
it was so good. I'm like, and I'm thinking, did Gonzo make this? Is it a reference to one of the stuff they made or
it
something
felt
else?
like it. It felt like it because I got mad. Like Voltron. Um, Gigantor, Ultraman vibes. And I don't know why, but I also got Samurai Pizza Cat vibes.
Oh,
Don't
that's a
know
great. That,
I don't know why, but it was there, and I'm like,
maybe it's the direction. Maybe it's the art style.
yeah,
Like,
it was probably the direction. I'm like, this is definitely Samurai Pizza Cat because I loved it.
we hope you
Uh,
like the show. It's the best we could do. I know that English ending has stuck with me for years.
but I'm actually excited for episodes 9 through 11. We are and I'm glad that the story I'm glad that the story did get moved along though. I'm
Nice to
glad
see
that
new locations. I love the garden they were in. I like the new bar,
oh
which
that garden was
if they
beautiful.
stay in the bar more often, that'll be cool. But obviously, this is probably going to be moving forward from location to location, which is completely fine. But that garden was really nice to see, like all the different flowers, even how they set it up at night, like to give you two different scenarios, then day and night. I'm like, I miss lighting like this. I miss having some good dynamic stuff here. Like the modern stuff is still cool and all, but you do miss certain style over substance. I take something that's a really good style, has a good art direction, backdrop.
And hard to
Um,
believe, and it's also crazy to think that's all hand drawn, which makes
like
it
it's still
crazier.
slightly hand drawn, they're getting more digital. So like even when you look at like even Yu-Gi-Oh from like the original Doom monsters up close enough to the remaining episodes of GX, they were still doing everything hand drawn. You could definitely tell they were going some digital in some couple places, but it wasn't really until 5Ds that most of the monsters were still in 2D,
Oh,
with
you
some of the
should
bosses going
see.
slight CG, but they only did like the CG stuff probably when they were at least summon. Like you still look at Stardust, Dragon, Red Dragon, Archfiend, all their different upgrades. It's like this is still 2D with only them being
You
summoned in CGI, which was
there was
brilliant.
there was a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cosplayers at Game on Expo. I forgot to tell you this last night.
Oh, I know there probably was because
I saw a
I haven't
Joey
been here
one,
since
a
you watched it.
Taya, a Dark Magician girl, Kaiba, and an accurate Pegasus.
It's
Accurate.
like I'm trying to cheat there now, Yugi boy. This one.
Oh, but the really cool
Let's
thing
involve a
is there
tabletop
was
position.
one of the
Is it a
cosplayers
blue? Is it a white? Is it a blue eyes?
one of the cosplayers that I did see, I wish I got a photo of this, but he was in a bit of a hurry. But he was kind enough to show me though. His dual disc literally came to life. Like it did the
Shit.
transformation, everything, and
Was it the
lit
original dual disc from season two, or was it the more new one in
the
Dark Side
original.
Dimension? Oh,
The original, the Battle
the one
City,
that destroyed all the cards. I
the
never had the
Battle
original dual
City,
disc.
the Battle City edition.
Ooh.
And you know what was even cooler? When he put the card on the thing, it changed color like it was being summoned.
Oh, sick.
I'm
That must
like,
have, that must
my
have cost
God.
an arm and a leg to make.
I can't imagine the stress of like the wiring and everything that goes into that. I was so amazed, but the tech I don't know that much about tech and everything, but I know for a fact all that wiring in there had to be very stressful to like put together to make it do all that. Because and the really cool thing is on the center where the deck is and everything, the life point meter came up.
Oh, sick.
I'm
Was it
like,
4,000 or
my
was it 8,000?
4,000.
Okay, that's the anime version.
But I'm like, if it was not the anime version, I still gave him my praise.
Because 8,000
I
was the
praised this guy.
official
I'm like,
rules.
and it was so cool. And he was so nice. He was very nice. Um, he told me
I'm
it took him 8 months to make that. Because he took the original dual disc, like he took the original dual disc as is, took it apart, and rewired and put new wires in and everything. And the parts like make it like transform and everything from scratch. From scratch. Because the parts inside it were so badly worn that he removed them. He didn't 3D print them. He made it like from actual material in his workshop. So I give him mad props. You're right, Joker. Joker's about to have a heart attack. Joker, are you okay? Joker, are you okay? Is the greatness that powerful that he's fallen over? Oh, he fell over. I just heard a thud. Oh no. Joker, are you okay?
Where's this?
What day? Joker, tell me what year it is. Are you okay, Joker? Oh no. The information was too grand for this part of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Joker collapsed out of his chair.
I did not. I just opened up my closet door. I guess my big Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless they're, I don't have time to get the OG set, but yeah, these are the cards that I don't like because I like the old school versions. But is there one I can? Oh, these are the synchrons. Well, this is the only one I can show. Wait, God damn it. I wish I had my other set up here, but I don't, I guess, and I don't have time, but I'm just gonna say it's time to duel. I want to meet that guy. It's time to duel. Don't worry, don't bother zooming in. If it was Sorcerer or Dark Magic, then yes, you can zoom in, but it's not Sorcerer, just a random card. I don't. But my props to that guy. It's time to duel. I'm sure he's on Instagram. You could probably find him. Just gotta put the keywords in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or like Game on Expo, whatever year 2025. So you'll probably find him.
I do have like I do have a photo of one of the cosplayers though. Let me find it real quick and then well good thing I saved the give me a minute here. There you go. That's one of the cosplayers I met.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's one of my he's one of my good friends. A really wonderful individual. As you can see, he almost has the little card thing for the semifinals. He told me he's gonna make that holographic and clear and clear like see through and everything when he's done. But overall, amazing gentleman. I had so much fun this year. Game on Expo really went all out this year. They really went out on their 10th on their 10th anniversary. Also, major props to this Sly Cooper cosplayer. Major props.
I know.
Sweetest person. She was cool enough to take the photo and everything, and it was so much fun. But we had fun tonight. We'll catch you all for episodes 9 through 11. I'm gonna get going because I'm starting to get stuffed up again, but I'm gonna try and get better. Stay tuned for Sunday, guys, because it's gonna be the post game on edition of Knights of the Anime Table, where I'm gonna show off what I got from Game on Expo. I waited a full week to do this.
I'm I've seen a couple of things that he's able to show off and what he sent me, so I'm like, this is going to be interesting what he has shown off.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Be sure to check out everybody's channels. Thank you to everybody. Uh, Saturday is Tomb Raider. Hopefully, I'm well enough to play it after work and everything.
Ugh.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens because there's another game that appeared on my library that I'm probably going to be playing pretty soon.
Expedition 33. I know I'm playing that.
Nice.
I still gotta finish Monster Hunter Wild, so I gotta finish that first.
Anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you all again. Bye, guys.